Hi guys, it's me, Professor D, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. On this video, I'm going to be covering dosage calculation questions, and the method we're going to be doing on this video is going to be the ratio and proportion method. I'm going to actually make this a series because I'm seeing this a lot, questions about dosage calculations, okay? So let's get started. Let's start with number 13. So the order, you have a 50 milligrams IM of a medication, but what we have available is 80 milligrams per 2 mLs. So how do we set this up? Let me make this a little bit bigger for you. All right, I think that's better. So before I get started, you guys have to know this. You're always going to be given 3 key components of information, right? And then you're going to be solving for X. So you're going to, when you set up your problem, you're going to have 3 out of the 4 that you need. And the 4th one that you don't have, that is your X. So let's start with the 2 that are connected. Look at this. We have 50 milligrams of a medication, that's what's ordered, but what we have is 80 milligrams per 2 ml. Those are our 2 pieces of information that are connected. When they are connected, you do not disconnect them, you keep them together. So here's what I'm going to do, number 13. 80 milligrams per 2 ml. I'm going to keep that. I'm going to write 80 milligrams per 2 ml. Just like it says here, I'm keeping them together. Equals, now I have something I have to have on the top, and I have to have something on the bottom. Whatever I have up here has to be milligrams because my units have to match. So whatever I have up here has to be milligrams, just like this. And whatever I have on the bottom has to be milliliters because my units have to always match. Well, the only thing I have left is this, my 50 milligrams. Am I going to put my 50 milligrams on top or on the bottom? I'm going to put it on top because I have milligrams up here and my units have to match. So I'm going to put 50 milligrams, milligrams. So I'm solving for X because we don't know what that is yet, but I know whatever it is that I solve for, my unit has to match. So it's going to be X ml. Okay. So I have 80 milligrams over 2 milliliters equals 50 milligrams over X. Now that I have this set up, the next thing I'm going to do is cross multiply. 80 times X, that gives me 80X. Now I do 50 times 2. 80X equals 50 times 2. Remember, I'm cross multiplying. That's what? 100. Now I have 80X equals 100. Well, I got to get this X by itself. So I'm going to divide the 80 on both sides to get X by itself. Divided by 80, divided by 80. So I can get this X by itself. X equals, now I'm going to do 100 divided by 80. Can you see that? No, let me put it over here so you can see. And guys, the answer, where's my thing I'm looking for? And the answer I have, I don't know if you guys can see this, but if you do, you have a calculator, you put that in, it's 1.25. If you write just 1.25, I promise you your instructor is going to mark this wrong. You always have to have your unit of measurement. So go back to X to see what you are solving for. X is what? mLs. So it's 1.25 what? Milliliters. Here's the thing. Depending on your school, and most of the nursing programs, they go by this rounding rule. So I want you to keep this in mind, guys. When it's 1 or more, you only solve to the 10th place. And when it's less than 1, you solve to the 100th place. So if your program goes by this rule, this 1.25 ml will actually turn into what? 1 point, remember, if it's 1 or higher, you're going to solve only to the 10th place. So you're going to look here, you see this is a 5, so your answer turns into 1.3 ml. Most of the nursing programs follow this rounding rule, but go by whatever your nursing program goes by. If you guys keep that 1.25, fine, but like I said, most of the nursing programs, the rule is if it's more than 1, you're going to only go to the 10th place. If it's less than 1, you're going to move on to the 100th place. So make sure that you know what your school's rounding rules are. All right, let's move on to the next question. Let's do number 14. And put number 14 over here so it doesn't get in the way. Number 14. Let's look what 14 says. We're right here. The order is for 0.5 grams by mouth of an antibiotic, but what we have are capsules labeled 250 milligrams. Now, remember what I said, you're always going to have 3 pieces of information and you're going to solve for the fourth. The fourth is going to be your X. Always start with the 2 pieces that are given to you that are together, because we are not going to separate them. This is what's given to us together. Capsules labeled 250 milligrams. 1 capsule is equal to 250 milligrams. That's the same thing we're seeing here, guys. Whatever is up here has to be capsule. That's going to be my unit of measurement. Whatever's down here has to be milligrams. That's going to be my unit of measurement. How do I know this? Look, capsule, milligram. So anything up here has to be capsule, and anything down here has to be milligram. Your units always have to match. So we already have 2 pieces of information. We only have 1 more left, 0.5 grams. Uh-oh. Where am I going to put my 0.5 grams? I can't put it down here because this is a milligram, and I can't put it up here because this is capsules. So what does that tell us? That tells me that the 0.5 gram, I have to find its equivalent. How do I find its equivalent? I'm going to show you. So here's what I have. I have 0.5 grams, but I have to turn it into milligram. Okay, I have to find its equivalent. I wrote this for you just to kind of keep this in mind. I showed you guys the little thing I used on my last video. So when we're moving this way, every time we have to move this way, we move the decimal point to the right. And then whenever we have to move this way, we move the decimal point to the left. So if I'm going from grams to milligrams, because milligram is what I need. If I'm going from grams to milligrams, I'm moving my decimal to the right. How many times? 3 times. So I go like this, 0.5, 1, 2, 3. So my 0.5 grams turned into 500 milligrams. Now I can plug in 500 because 0.5 grams is the same thing as 500 milligrams. So now I can plug in my 500 here, and that leaves with X. Now that I have the entire equation, now I can cross multiply. 250 times X equals 250X. Now I'm going to cross multiply on the other side. 500 times 1 equals 500. So now I have 250X equals 500. I have to get X by itself. What am I going to do? I'm going to divide the 250 by both sides to get X by itself. Divide by 250, divide by 250. Okay, 250 goes into 500 how many times? 500 divided by 250, that's 2. Am I done? Can I just leave this as a 2? Absolutely not. You have to always have your unit of measurement. Well, Professor D, I forgot what my unit of measurement was supposed to be. Go back to X. Your X is up here. X what? Capsules. So what are we going to do? Put capsules here. So our answer is 2. We're going to give 2 capsules. That is the correct answer. You see what I just did there? Okay, guys, let's move on to the next question. Let's do number 3. Number 3, just joking, guys. Let's do number 15. 15, the order is 400 milligrams of a liquid medication, but what we have available is 125 milligrams per 5 ml. All right, let's start with the 2 that are connected because we're going to keep them connected. That's what? 125 milligrams per 5 ml. Let's go. 125 milligrams per 5 ml equals whatever I have up here has to be milligrams because remember our units have to match. So let me just go ahead and put milligrams right here so I don't forget. And whatever I have down here, it has to be milliliters. Let me go ahead and put ml right now so I don't forget. Milligram, milligram, milliliter, milliliter. Okay, great. So we have 2 pieces of the problems. What problem? What's our third one? Our 500 up here. Our 400, guys, you see it. You know I can't speak. Our 400 milligrams. Can I put my 400 milligram here? Yes, because it's milligrams. 400 milligrams. What's going to be down here? X. This is what we're solving for. Now we can cross multiply because all of our numbers are plugged in. So we're going to do 125 times X, and that gives us 125X equals, now we have to do 400 times 5, which gives us, give me a second, 4 times 5 is 20. Let me add my zeros, 1, 2. I keep forgetting I have a calculator, guys. I'm so used to doing, I'm old school. When I was in nursing program, we weren't allowed to use calculators. We had to do it all by hand. I keep forgetting I have a calculator over here. Okay, anyway. So then I did 400 times 5, which gave me my 2,000. Now I have, let me make sure I'm right. I'm over here bragging. 400 times, oh, 400 times 5. Yes, 2,000. Okay, so now I have 125X equals 2,000. We have to get that X by itself. So in order to get it by itself, we're going to divide 125 by both sides. Divide by 125, divide by 125. So now we're going to do 2,000 divided by 125, 16. Are we done? Can we just leave it at 16? No, you have to always have your unit of measurement. Let's go back to our X to see what that unit of measurement was. Oh, here's our X. We're solving for mLs. So the correct answer is 16 mLs. Okay, let's move on. Let's look at number 17. Put some light for you, maybe you need more light. All right, number 16. Here's number 16. The order is for 50 milligrams IM of a medication. What we have available is 80 milligrams per 5 ml. Again, let's start with what's connected, which is our 80 milligrams per 5 ml. 80 milligrams per 5 ml is equal to whatever I have up here has to be milligrams. Our units have to match. So let me put milligrams here so I don't make a mistake. And whatever I have down here has to be milliliters. I'm going to put milliliters right now so I don't have a mistake. Let's plug in our third number. Let's go back to number 16. All we have left is our 50. Am I going to put the 50 milligrams up here or down here? It's going to be up here. I already have my milligrams. So I'm going to put my 50 over what? X. X is what we're solving for. Now that our numbers are plugged in, what are we going to do next? Cross multiply. Very good. So I'm going to do 80 times X, which gives me 80X, is equal to 50 times 5. 5 times 5 is 25. Then I'm going to add my 0 to 50. So now I have 80X is equal to 250. I have to get X by itself. So I'm going to divide 80 by both sides. Divide by 80, divide by 80. Let's do 250 divided by 80. Up here so you can see. 3.125. Okay, 3.125, but remember those rounding rules that I told you about that most of you guys have to go by this rounding rule. Remember, if it's more than 1, we're only going to go to the 10th place. If it's less than 1, that's when we move over to the hundredths, right? So 3.125, let's look next to that 1, it's a 2. So what is our answer going to be? It's going to be 3.1. 3.1 what? Go back to our X, we're solving for ml. So the correct answer is 3.1 mLs. Move this over so you guys can see. The answer I'm getting on the answer says different. Did I do something wrong? Let me take a look. It's number 16. 80 milligrams per. Don't do what I just did. I copied the answer wrong. That's how I came up with this 3.1. Look at what number 16 says. Number 16 says 80 milligrams per ml. I wrote 80 milligrams per 5 ml. So guess what, guys? If this were the setup, this would have been your answer. Let's do number 16 again, but copy it down correctly because we have eyes and we can see, and we'll do the math all over again. So keep this, take a look at this. If this were your problem, this is how you do the math, but we're going to do another 16, number 16 again, except correctly this time. Let me switch pages. Number 16. Let me copy it down correctly this time. 80 milligrams per 1 ml, not 5. I don't know where I got that 5, guys, from. Per 1 ml. How do I know it's per 1 ml? Because it says 80 milligrams per ml. Whenever there is no number in front of the unit, that means 1. So because it says 80 milligrams per ml, that means 80 milligrams per 1 milliliter. Okay, so 80 milligrams per ml equals to, all we have left is our 50. Are we going to put the 50 on top, or are we going to put it on bottom? We're going to put it on top because it's 50 milligrams. Remember, our units always have to match over X. X what? What's my unit? ml. Now we can cross multiply. 80 times X gives me 80X. And then 50 times 1 gives me 50. 80X equals 50. Well, now I got to get X by itself. Divide by 80, divide by 80. Now I'm going to do 50 divided by 80. There we go, 0.625. Can we keep this? Well, no, because we know when the answer is less than 1, we have to go to the hundredths place, right? So that 0.625 turns into what? 0.6. Remember, we're going to the hundredths place. So you see this 2? Look at what's next to the 2. It's a 5 or higher. So this 2 turns into what? 3. Your answer is 0.63. But remember, I got to put my unit. What's my unit for? I'm solving for X, ml. My answer is 0.63 ml. Let me look at the answer sheet, make sure I'm right. There we go. That's your answer. Okay, guys? Next question. Oh, number 17. Number 17, the order is for 60 milligrams IM of a medication, but what we have is 30 milligrams per ml. So we're going to start with what we have together. We are not going to separate them. So we're going to put 30 milligrams per what? 1 ml. Because remember, whenever there's not a number in front of the unit, that means it's 1. 30 milligrams per 1 ml equals, all I have left is my 60 milligrams. Am I going to put my 60 milligrams on top or on the bottom? It's going to go on the top because remember, the units always have to match. So I'm going to put 60 milligrams on the top, and I'm solving for X mLs. Now that our problem is set up, we can cross multiply. 30 times X equals 30X, and 60 times 1 equals 60. I got to get X by itself, so I'm going to divide by both sides, divide by 30, divide by 30. 30 goes into 60 2 times. Are we done? No, we need our unit of measurement. Remember, we were solving for X, so my answer has to be ml. The correct answer is 2 mLs. Am I right? Ooh, beautiful. Yes, I am. Let's do the next problem, number 18. It says, what's ordered? 15 milligrams of a medication. Available, tablets labeled 5 milligrams. Let's start with what is given together. We are not going to separate them. 1 tablet is equal to 5 milligrams, right? Whatever is up here has to be tablet, and whatever is down here has to be milligrams, because our units always have to match. Let's look to see what we have left. 15 milligrams. So where am I going to put that 15? Right here. 15 milligrams, and we're solving for X. Now that all of our numbers are plugged in, let's go ahead and cross multiply. 5 times X equals 5X, right? So 5X is equal to 15 times 1 is equal to 15. 5X equals 15. We got to get X by itself. So we're going to divide 5 by both sides. 5 goes into 15 3 times. 3 what? We have to have a unit. Let's go back to X. 3 tablets. Am I correct? Very good. 3 tablets. That is our correct answer. Okay, let's do number 19. The order is 0.24 grams by mouth of a liquid medication, but what we have available is 80 milligrams per 7.5 mLs. Whenever it's given to you together, you're going to keep it together. So let's start with that. 80 milligrams per 7.5 ml. Whatever I have up here has to be milligrams, and whatever I have down here has to be mLs. Our units have to match, and all I have left is my 0.24 grams. But wait a minute. Up here's milligrams, not grams. Remember what I had written? Let me write it down for you guys again. Okay, so remember, when I'm moving my decimal point this way, every time I move it this way, I'm going 3 spaces, and every time I move it this way, I'm going 3 spaces. So if I have 0.24 grams, but I need milligrams, it's right here, guys. I need milligrams, not gram. If I'm going from grams to milligrams, that means I'm moving my decimal space to the right 3 times. All right, 1, 2, 3. Guess what? That 2.4 grams is the same thing as 240 milligrams. So I'm going to put my 240 milligrams, because that's what I need, milligrams, over X. I'm solving for X. Now that I have everything plugged in, let me cross multiply. 80 times X equals 80X. Now I have to do 240 times 7.5. 240 times 7.5, that gives me 1,800. So I have 80X equals 1,800. I have to get this X by itself. So I'm going to divide both sides by the 80. Now let's do 1,800 divided by 80. And the answer is 22.5 right here. But remember, guys, we're not done. We have to tack on our unit. So go back to X to remember what you were solving for, and you were solving for ml. So it's 22.5 ml. Am I correct? Number 19, very good. 22.5 ml. Okay. Let's do number 20. What's ordered is 20 grams by mouth of a liquid medication, but what we have is 10 grams per 15 mLs. Let's start with what's given to us together. 10 grams per 15 ml is equal to, whatever I have up here has to be grams, and whatever I have down here has to be ml. I encourage you to, before you even plug anything in, write it now so you don't make a mistake and forget to convert when you need to convert, okay? The only thing we have left, guys, is here, our 20 grams. 20 grams. Down here is going to be X. Let's cross multiply. 10 times X equals 10X. 15 times 20 equals 15 times 2 is 30. Add on my 0. So now I have 10X equals 300. I got to get the X by itself. Divide by 10, divide by 10. 1 goes into 30 times. So my answer should be 30 mLs. Yep. What I did was 10X equals 300. I had to get X by itself. So I divided both sides by 10. Then I did 300 divided by 10. Right here, 300 divided by 10. And that gives you your 30. And then I had to tack on my unit, which is ml. All right, let's do number 21. .125 milligrams IM of a medication has been ordered, and what we have is 0.5 milligrams per 2 ml. So I'm going to put my 0.5 milligrams per 2 ml is equal to, up here has to be milligrams and down here has to be ml. So all I have left is my 0.125 milligrams. I don't even have to convert. Let me just plug it in, 0.125 over X. Now we can cross multiply. 0.5X is equal to 0.125 times 2. 0.125 times 2. That gives me my 0.25. So now I have 0.5X is equal to 0.25. I have to get X by itself, divide by both sides, 0.5, 0.5. So 0.25 divided by 0.5, that should give us 0.5. 0.5 what? mLs. Because remember, we're solving for X, which is our ml. That's our answer. 2 more problems, guys. 2 more problems. Let's do number 22. Here's number 22. The order is 0.75 milligrams IM of a medication, and what we have is 0.25 milligrams per ml. 0.25 milligrams per 1 ml is equal, let me put my milligrams up here and my ml down here. All I have left is my 0.75 milligrams. I'm gonna plug it here, 0.75 milligrams over X. Cross multiply. 0.25X is equal to, now cross multiply 0.75 times 1, which is 0.75. Now I have 0.25X equals 0.75. I have to get X by itself, so I'm going to divide 0.25 by both sides. And that's going to give me my 0.3. So I'm going to do 0.75 divided by 0.25, and it should give me 3. Excuse me, 3. Number 22, am I correct? Yes, 3. But I'm not done because I still have to put my units. So let's go back to what we're solving for, X, ml. So my correct answer is 3 ml. Okay, guys, we're down to our very last question. Number 23. The order is 375 milligrams by mouth of a liquid medication, and what we have is 125 milligrams per 5 ml. 125 milligrams per 5 ml is equal to, up here is going to be milligrams, down here is going to be ml. All we have left, guys, is a 375. So I'm going to put my 375 up here because it's 375 milligrams, and our units always have to match. So down here is going to be X. I'm solving for ml. So whatever my answer is, it's going to be in mLs, right? So now let's cross multiply. 125 times X is 125X. 375 times 5, I have no idea what that is. 375 times 5. Is that right? 375 times 5. Oh, I guess it is. So 375 times 5, that is, let me make sure I didn't, yes, that's 1,875. 1,875. You guys see that? All right. So now I have 125x is equal to 1,875. I have to get x by itself. So I'm going to divide both sides by 125. So 1,875 divided by 125. And that gives me 15. Are we done? No, because we have to tack on our units. X, we're solving for ml. The correct answer is 15 mLs. And guys, this is our ratio and proportion. It does get a little bit more complex. And what I mean, the steps are the same, but you may have some questions where they'll add on a step or even two. And like I said, this is going to be a series, so I wanted to start at the beginning, but I'm definitely going to be covering more challenging types of questions to make sure that you guys get it and understand it. So please do me a favor, guys. Let me know what you thought about this video in the comments. Let me know what you'd like to see more of as far as dosage calculation is concerned. Or anything else for that matter. If you want me to do a lesson format or questions like the ones that I do every Sunday at 1 Eastern Standard Time, let me know. Thank you so much, guys. You have been so supportive. You guys have been sharing my videos on your social media platforms. You've really been helping my channel grow. And the more support that I have for this channel, guys, that allows me more time to dedicate to you guys instead of others' endeavors. So I thank you so much for the support, and I ask that you guys please continue that support. I have audio lessons available for you on my website, nexusnursinginstitute.com. And don't forget, you guys can catch me and watch me do other types of questions every day on my social media platforms such as TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. Thank you so much for watching this video, and you guys will catch me on the next video.